Hey, it's Camo live from the Pie Wagon here on Music Row for Nashville Access Facebook Live, and a very special guest this week, Paulina Jayne. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for having me.
We were off camera just talking about boots, so we both have kind of boots.
One of the things I've always loved. I got the craziest lips back in 8th grade growing up in Detroit, Michigan, wearing these things, but
you and I are kind of from around, about 3 hours apart.
Yeah, similar areas.
And I wore boots all my life too, and same thing, so I completely identify.
There's something about them. They also make you feel really cool.
That's right. Bit of a swagger.
A little bit of that, yeah.
So, besides boots, we're here to talk about your career so far and your music. I didn't know some of the stuff about you, but you released your first record when you were 12, is that right?
13, I think. But yeah, close enough. I was really fortunate to work with some people up in Michigan at that point in time, with Rust Belt Studios and Al Sutton, and they recorded some amazing music for me. It was really cool.
And here you are, a few years later. I have clothes older than you, but you're a junior at Belmont University here in town, taking music business.
Yep.
You have a new record out.
Almost.
Oh yeah, we're going to talk about it, but the video's out.
The video is out.
You can see the video. We'll talk about that in a minute. But you've got this whole thing going on with a label that you started. Tell us a bit about that. I mean, you're not even out of school and you started a label.
Well, I've grown up in a family of entrepreneurs, and my uncle started his own business, and my mom jumped into it herself, and so I decided to go that own route. I saw this little niche market using college students to essentially create something really fantastic in a record label with some different partners in town, one of which being PLA Media, who got me here today. And it's been fantastic to see how it's all been able to roll out with these amazing young people who just know exactly what they're doing. I'm not supposed to say who they are yet.
Okay.
So once I can, I'm going to scream it from the rooftops because they're insanely talented.
If they're watching, you know who you are. So,
yes, exactly.
That's really cool.
Thank you.
Do you sit back and think, I'm amazed I'm doing this, or does it just kind of be natural for you?
You know what? I love to be in the thick of it. I love to be in the trenches with everybody and doing the work. One of my favorite things to do is accounting. I know it sounds crazy. So when I'm not writing songs, I'm counting numbers. Counting the money.
Keep it all in house. Yeah. That's good.
But with that said, yeah, this is really just fantastic. I am honored to be able to sing my music and for people to actually listen to it and consider listening to it. It's something really special.
Tell us the name of the new single.
Got a song called Love's Gonna Always Win, and I wrote it with Trey Bruce and Haley Steele.
Those are some kind of big names.
Really, really honored to work with them. Trey Bruce has been a champion of mine for a while, and I actually met him over Twitter, and I direct messaged him and I said, hey, I'm going to be in Nashville on these dates. This is back in my junior year of high school. I'd love to meet with you. And he said, all right, let's do it. So sure enough, I met him at the Hampton Inn up in Goodlettsville, and we sat down and I played 10 or 15 songs for him in the lobby, and the rest is history. I was recording with him 2 weeks later.
Wow.
He's an amazing man.
The single, you're releasing the record. What date are you doing that?
October 14th.
October 14th.
So a week from this Friday.
So we'll get to that and tell people where they can come out and watch that and everything else. But the video is already out there. Tell us about the video, because it's a pretty powerful, the images are really powerful when you watch it. It's pretty amazing.
Thank you. I worked really hard to choose this last song on this EP, and it was Love's Gonna Always Win. I went into the writing room with Trey and Haley, and we said to each other, we gotta write a song that has more meaning than just alcohol and partying and the back of a tailgate and all that stuff. We wanted to
Not
do
that
something
that doesn't
different.
have a lot of meaning.
Not that it doesn't. Not that it
But
doesn't.
a different vibe.
There's a place for those songs too, because I have one of them on my EP. So you know, there's a time and a place for it. But with the times right now, I thought it was fitting to spread this message that with all the hatred that's going on, all of the shootings, all the attacks, terrorist attacks, the one thing that we can all come back to, and the one thing that will always live in our hearts is love. And I believe that one of the most important things we can do while we're on this earth is love thy neighbor.
So, you wrote the song, but let's really talk about the video.
Yeah, sure.
Because for those that haven't seen it, you'll have to go and see the video. It is available online on YouTube.
Yes.
It's a lot of images that you would see in the news, that you see in the headlines every single day over and over and over again. And you put them together to create the message. How was that to come up with and shoot?
We used a lot of stock footage for this video, and we tried to take a lot of news footage, like you said, and just sort of, in the first verse, capture the negative side of what's going on in the world. And then the chorus bring in more an uplifting feel. So using like people literally in Nashville who we met on the side of the street, side of the road, and we said, hey, you want to sing this song for this music video? Sure enough, they did. Then the second verse comes around and we're pulling video from Free Hugs guy.
Oh yeah.
It's actually pretty wild. That same week that we put the video out, that same Free Hugs guy was in Charlotte. And he was completely badgered by people for going up and hugging police officers and trying to promote this peace in the city. And so I was really honored that this video could bring some light to the people out there who are trying their hardest to promote something greater than the craziness out in the world and what the media has to say. So
it's kind of a sad commentary on our times when people giving away hugs and clowns are the targets of hatred.
Exactly. All you got to do to make a viral video now is
Be
throw
a
a few clowns in there.
I've got a clown hugging somebody.
Yeah. That would be a good concept.
Clowns.
When I saw the video, I hadn't read your bio yet because PLA had sent over and said, check this out, so I did. And it didn't even occur to me that it would be a college student doing that. Has anybody ever kind of, I don't want to say accused you, said that you're kind of writing beyond your years?
Well, as humbly as I can say, I've had a few people tell me that. I'm an old soul. I just look at things from a different perspective than most of my friends. And I'm really glad that I do, because it allows me to see into this, the depth of society in a different way. But my mom's always challenged me to do that too. She's a woman who really, really pines for the right word. And so I've always respected that when I'm writing a song. I try to find the right word for the right moment and the right melody.
Does that go beyond music for you when you're just in conversation with people?
Definitely.
Well, how come you're not doing it now?
Shoot! Should have been a little better.
Very immature.
Just using the leftovers. That's pretty cool that you're taking that influence and being very considerate about what you write. Do you write hoping something's going to be a hit, or do you write thinking this is what I've got to say, and if it becomes a hit, that's cool?
The latter.
Yeah.
Definitely. I write to write the song. I don't write to write a hit. I like to think that every song that I write is going to be a hit, and then, you know, it dies out a little bit. But the ones that stick around, I try to push forward. The ones that I feel like past that first little honeymoon phase, that there's still something there, I try to pass them on a tray and get his take, and he'll tell me, oh no, Paulina, that one sucks, or oh no, Paulina, that one's great, that's what we gotta go for. So you gotta keep yourself humble when you write, and just write for the song and not for like the number, the chart.
I get the feeling, and I'm going to ask you a question, and I probably already know some of the answers. Who are some of the most influential songwriters and artists in your mind that have helped you get to where you are?
I was sitting down with it's funny you asked this, because I was sitting down with my dad, and he asked me that question, and he said, you know, Paulina, I think the Beatles and John Lennon in particular really had an impact on you and your writing. He used to play them for me all the time when I was a little girl, and I can see it. I can see how, you know, he looks into different ideas, like the song Imagine. It's timeless. It doesn't matter when you play that song, it's still going to be applicable to whatever is going on in the world. And so I try to apply that when I'm writing, and you know, I don't think I'll ever be a John Lennon, because I don't think anybody could ever be, but man, he's awesome. My other favorite is Stevie Wonder. Motown City is where I'm from, so.
Motown, but still a writer that always, or for the most part, wanted to send a message.
Definitely.
With his writing. See, I was going to go more the Dylan thing, but
okay.
I can see the John Lennon, Beatles, and Stevie Wonder. That's really cool.
Thank you.
Do you want your music, I guess every writer does want their music to last, but when you're making a statement about something, do you hope it's going to be kind of a timeless work, or do you just want to say, you know, this is what I've got to say now, and hope that it kind of lasts?
Well, I think that each song plays to its own entity. So, Love's Gonna Always Win is definitely one of those that you hope is going to be timeless. Unfortunately, there's always going to be hate in the world, but there's always going to be an opportunity to bring it back to what love can do for that. With that said, I've written a song called Teenage Nights, in which I thought that like teenage nights were the slowest period of time in my life, which is wrong. That goes by so fast, and I'm no longer in my teenage years.
Trust me, middle-aged nights go by even faster.
So not all the songs are timeless, and sometimes you're just sitting down and writing what's on your mind. It doesn't have to be this greatly profound idea, you know. You can just write about what you're feeling at that time.
Are you a singer first or a songwriter first?
That's a tough question. I'd say songwriter. That's where my love is.
Where do you want to be in 5 years? Where do you see your career trajectory taking you?
Oh man, it would be super cool if in 5 years this record label was doing really well for itself, and I could be, you know, touring and playing out with different artists, opening for them, or even playing on that same stage. It would be a really big honor.
If you could open for one artist, who would it be?
Similar answer to the one before, but definitely Stevie.
Yeah.
I would love it. I was at his show at Bridgestone last year, I think, or maybe a couple years ago, and I was sitting there, and he got the entire crowd to like embrace in this huge hug. It was insane. I couldn't believe it.
I would just feel uncomfortable.
I felt so empowered. I was like, I can do it. Life is great. This is awesome. So I would just love to be a part of that room. All those people there who are willing to.
I would be like, don't touch me, dude.
Get away. Like a 4-foot radius here, please.
So Stevie would be it.
Yep.
I'll give you a hint about Stevie Wonder.
Okay.
If you're ever applying for a job someplace, do not do a Stevie Wonder impersonation.
Oh, I will not do
I
that.
stood up in the macrame thing hanging down, so I started to do Stevie. I didn't get the job.
What was the job you were applying for? That's
I can't
a real
remember.
question.
Obviously unrelated to Stevie Wonder. So,
I see.
how about a song?
All right. Well, let's see. I got this song that's on the record, and this is the first time I think I'm playing it on a Facebook Live video or anything.
Cool.
So it's called "Big Booty Country Girl,"
All right.
and it's one of my jokes. So I'll do that in contradiction with "Love's Gonna Always Win."
All right.
Here we go.
Paulina Jayne on Nashville Access.
I'm a big booty country girl, shake it for a man to the year-high twirl. Rhinestone guacamole hanging from my neck, hunting down a cowboy, baby, hell yeah. If you want it, boy, I got it. I'll step on up and show the world. Won't be shy now, gotta flaunt it. Shake it for my man to the year-high twirl. Big booty country girl, rope was swinging wide. Skinny girls get skinny, skinny, but their boys get booty-eyed. Big booty country girl, shake it for your man, do the high twirl. Rhinestone buckle mullet hanging from her neck, hunting down a cowboy, baby, hell yeah. If you want it, boy, I got it. I'll step on up and show the world. Won't be shy now, gotta flaunt it. Shake it for my man, do the high twirl. Big booty country girl, a country girl. I said if you got a big one, you gotta celebrate. You gotta move your caboose and shake and bake. I said if you got a big one, you gotta celebrate. You gotta move your caboose and shake and bake. Big booty country girl, shake it for your man, do the high twirl. Rhinestone buckle mullet hanging from a neck, hunting down a cowboy, baby, hell yeah. If you want it, boy, I got it. Step on up and show the world. Won't be shy now, gotta flaunt it. Shake it for my man, do the high twirl. Big booty country girl, a country girl.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You
Um,
Like that.
gotta have a funny song on your EP.
yeah.
You gotta do it.
2 words. Holy crap. Listening to that other song and then hearing that, it's like, where did that voice come from? I was sitting here with just, like, my eyes wide open.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. You've got a voice.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah. I think big things are going to happen.
Thank you.
And I think it's partially you're driving that whole entrepreneurship. You're not just going in this and saying, somebody make me a star or make me a viable artist. You're saying, well, I'm going to do it. You know? And come along for the ride if you're ready.
Thank you. I really appreciate you saying that.
That's cool.
I'm excited for you guys to see too on October 14th. I'm playing at the country. I'm going to be debuting all these songs and
Yeah, let's talk about the release. It's going to be the
Yeah.
record release party,
yep,
and it's going to be October 14th. Where?
the country. It's on 28th and West End here in Nashville.
Okay. And then everybody can come on out.
Yeah, everybody can come out. It's free. It's awesome. because
Everybody in
it's not on, it's
Nashville
free.
loves free.
Hey, the other thing, like Pie Wagon,
Yeah.
free parking.
Oh, sweet. So if you're watching, make sure you come out. If you're watching this after the 14th, just buy the record. It's going to be great. Paulina Jayne, what's the title of the record?
It's self-titled. It's just under Paulina Jayne.
Jayne. Excellent. You've got a website, paulinajayne.com.
Sure do, yeah.
And they can get all your social media after that.
Yep.
Excellent.
From there.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for coming by today. It's a pleasure to meet you and hear you, and your hands are really cool.
I know. It's I don't know why.
Nashville Access, Facebook Live. Thanks for watching us. Thanks to Paulina Jayne for being our special guest today and blowing us away.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.